So I was probably 13 years old the first time that I was on a job site with my father. I don't know if I would say it was voluntary. It was strongly suggested that we do that. He started off in hot tar, pitch roofing, stuff like that, and it just, he started doing side jobs at some point, and we would go with him to those side jobs. And we had a lot of homeowners that were looking for good siders, and we happened to have friends in the industry that we grew up with that happened to be professional siders that we were able to hire and bring them on. Same thing with the window installers. Foundation repair was something that we got into out of necessity because of our own home. We had hired several companies to fix a home that we owned, and they were unable to get it done properly, so we had to do it ourselves, and that's how our foundation repair started.
Welcome to the weekend, folks. This is Hire It Done. My name's Adam Helfman. Labor Day weekend's on here. All fun, but we're still live because that's what we want to do here on Hire It Done. We want to make it live for you. I want to thank you for tuning in. And, of course, we're on Facebook Live as well, so if you want to check us out in the studio, tune it in. We're good on Hire It Done. Also, we have a great website, hireitdone.com. We got a great YouTube channel. We kill it today. So welcome to the weekend. That's right. So what's on your home improvement list? What do you got going on? Kids are back to school. I just got back from taking my son to college. Oy, talk about a disaster. That's crazy. Totally crazy. But, hey, it's all good. Well, that's not good. We'll figure that out. But, you know, the back-to-school situation is a complete trigger for new things around your house. Coming up soon, we got our fall checklist. What are the popular home improvements to do around your house this time of year? I mean, there's a lot you got to do. So we're going to talk about it. But here's the other thing. You know, triggering events around your house is important. So we have so much to talk about, but I have great guests as well today. Sitting in the co-host chair with me this morning is Mike Beaty from Rapid Home Improvement, Rapid Roofing, Rapid Dry. These guys got a million companies, but they're good guys. Good morning, my friend.
How you doing, sir?
I'm awesome. Awesome. It's a great Labor Day weekend, fun day. What do you got planned? Anything good?
Yeah, I got a hike tomorrow on Potawatomi Trails. It's a practice hike for
So you're not
Make-A-Wish
like a
Foundation.
big hiker.
I guess.
How do you like hiking?
I enjoy it.
So is that good exercise? What is the benefits besides the great release of anxiety?
Yeah, just being outside, and it's a lot better than being on a treadmill for sure.
Well, that's always a good thing. I do the treadmill. Like, I wake up really early in the morning, like really early.
Yeah, I know. I get texts from you at like 5:30 a.m. Are you up yet?
Shut up. So what happens is my eyes open, and as soon as my eyes open, the hamster wheel starts running, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, got so much to do. So I jump out of bed and I run on the treadmill. I do that for 45 minutes. But now I've got my new infrared sauna.
Yeah.
Which is totally crazy good. But hey, you know how that goes. Listen, you gotta get in shape at our age, or at least my age, being 50.
I'm right behind you.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But 50 is the new 30. Like, I want to fight a 30-year-old just to see if I can still do it. One time.
You want to be able to pick the 30-year-old, all right? Not these guys
right.
behind the glass. You don't want them to pick them for you.
I don't care who it is. Okay? Let anyone come by. In fact, I just have this anger that it has to come out. But it's okay. It's home improvement anger, right?
Right.
But anyways, did you have a good year so far?
It's fantastic. We're
busy, right?
Oh, yeah.
So let's tell everyone about Rapid Roofing.
So Rapid Roofing, the actual Rapid Roofing company itself started in 98 after my father passed away. My brother and myself started the company. We worked for him growing up doing architectural sheet metal, commercial roofing, detail work, and some residential work, a lot of cedar shake and slate. And then after he passed away, we put an ad in the phone book, and that winter...
Yellow Pages?
Yeah, Yellow Pages. The lady talked us into a half-page ad, and we ended up working about 70 hours a week doing snow removal through the entire winter. It was one of the worst winters ever for ice dams. So
Was it? Oh, that's right. So what year was it?
It was 98.
Okay. Yeah, that was a crazy year.
Insane. We've never had another one like it. We've had some ice dam years, but that year it was just.
So, you know, it's funny. So let's talk about, since we have ice damming as the topic, let's talk about, for you, learning about ice damming. Back then, did you know what caused ice damming back then? Or people are like, my roof's leaking, and then you figured it out?
Not really. It's been through ongoing training through our material manufacturers, and it has to be something you want. In contracting, it has to be something, for me anyways, that you keep an open mind, because I have old school stuff that I learned from my father that's still used today, but we never talked about ventilation. There was the air exchange rate on homes back then was so great that you really didn't have to worry about ventilation.
Well, back then when you talked about ventilation, people looked at you like you were crazy. What do you mean ventilation? You get the shingles on, you do it right, and it's not going to leak.
Right.
Well, the science behind ventilation and how it impacts the roofing came to light through ice damming.
Mm-hmm.
Severe weather made everyone say, wait a minute, how does this happen? Well, so let's define for the homeowners really quick who are listening, what is ice damming? You want to just tell them the definition of it, or what causes it?
Well, for the most part, it's you're going to have energy loss no matter how much insulation you have. That gets into an attic space and starts to heat up the attic space, which melts the snow quicker, along with your thermal loss on the outside from the sun. As it gets to the overhangs, and typically the larger your overhang is on your home, because that's the exact outside temperature, it refreezes and then continues to build up from there and then back up underneath the shingles.
Correct. So, folks, ice damming is not because your roof is improperly installed, okay? What happens is, in listener terms, and I'll repeat in a way what Mike just said, is snow on your roof accumulates, okay? The heat in your house escapes out of your attic, okay? So the underside of the attic starts to heat up, which then melts that snow. When the snow melts off your roof, it goes to the edge or the overhang where there's no heat escaping because it's past the attic, right?
Mm-hmm.
It starts to refreeze. When water freezes, it expands. So now when the water's starting to build up in the ice, it expands. It goes under the shingle just a little bit. It lifts the shingle a millimeter, and then more water and ice starts to freeze and lifts it up again and again, where there's enough water that gets into under the shingle, and then when it starts to hit the heated part of the house, it starts to melt again. But then now it's on the backside of the shingle and goes into your house. That's where the headache comes in, and they used to have what we call ice and water shield. That'll prevent it, right? 3 feet up. You know, like I heard an advertisement for a roofer. We're not going to obviously trash the guy or say his name, although I'd like to. He says, we give, code says 3 feet of ice and water shield. We give 6. Well, that's not true. Code is 3 feet inside the heated wall. So if you have a 3-foot overhang on your house, and there are a lot of houses that do, you really got to go 6 feet. Is that true?
Oh, yeah, minimum of 6. And then typically with a 3-foot overhang, what we would do instead of going 6 feet, we would go 9, just to make sure, because of that experience we had back in 90. It really defied logic, as bad as the ice dams were.
Everyone was scratching their head. What do we do? What do we do? Well, that was the trigger point for the evolution of roofers now taking it to the next level. And that's where you have manufacturers who are also like, wait a minute, what happened here? Because the other thing that happened from the ice damming in 98 was that a lot of roofers took hammers and axes and started chopping it up with their hammers, ruined the roof. Mm-hmm. Then come springtime, what happens? Homeowners like, oh my God, the guy destroyed it. What do I do? Well, you need a new roof. So it was a boom to the roofing industry the next year. But the education levels, and this is what separates roofers from expert roofers. You happen to be an expert roofer. In fact, from Hire It Done, in order to participate in our system, and you know this since you're in your second year now with us.
Yep.
Right? Congratulations.
Oh, thanks.
And by the way, your reputation precedes you. AAA on everything. All your results, all your reviews have been A+.
Well, you give us a lot of help with that, too, on how to be a more professional company. And I know that you did a thorough background check with us, and that's why we like the program, is because it's different than a lot of the other shows that are on the...
Well, and we appreciate that. Listen, but at the end of the day, when I first met you guys and I said you have one responsibility with Hire It Done, and you're like, well, what's that? I said, all you need is to have the homeowners brag about you, Because when they do, that means you did your job. So congratulations on that.
Oh, thank you.
But here's the thing. You got to pass a pre-screening, but you also have to be certified. To be a roofer, you have to be certified by a manufacturer. And you guys happen to be certified by more than one.
Yeah, we were a platinum preferred contractor in the early 2000s, and we're a master elite contractor. And I think it's us and Kearns Brothers are the two oldest in Michigan. They're probably a year before us, so I think they were somewhere around 98 or 99, and we were in 2000.
Yeah. And by the way, Kearns Brothers, fabulous company.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and that's what I say with my other roofers. Wouldn't you rather compete against Kearns Brothers than some, chuck in a truck?
Well, yeah, because a lot of times that gives the homeowners the opportunity to actually compare apples to apples rather than apples to oranges.
Right. And that's the key. Homeowners want a roof that doesn't leak in the simplest terms.
Mm-hmm.
However, there are many, many homeowners, and you know this, who will go to want to understand why the roof's bad. And so one of the things that I like about Rapid Roofing is your approach to explaining and educating the homeowner why they need a new roof. Because, listen, homeowner sees their soffit and they see the roof and they see water spots, right? And they don't know why. They know they need a new roof. So we're going to talk about your checklist, basically, about how to get a new roof when we come back. Okay? All right, I'm going to take a quick break, folks. My name's Adam Helfman. You're listening to the Hire It Done radio show on 97.1 The Ticket. Welcome back, folks. This is Hire It Done. My name's Adam Helfman. Great show on this Labor Day weekend. Lots of good stuff planned around the house. In studio with me right now is Mike Beaty from Rapid Roofing. Welcome back.
How you doing, Adam?
I am so good. I don't know what to do with myself. Just the way things go. So we were talking about roofing, and we were talking about that you guys, when a homeowner decides, listen, I need I got a roof leak, they get nervous, but in the back of their head, they're like, I think I need a new roof. Like, oh, it's been 12, 15 years, and then they're like, oh boy, what am I going to do? But what's good is when you guys go to the house, you guys inspect a full array of items around the house. Can you elaborate on that for me?
Yeah, so one of the first things we require our people to do, or even myself when I show up at a home, is obviously introduce myself. We're going to want to take a look in the attic. That's one of the first things we want to look at. And the reason for that, a lot of times people look at us almost cross-eyed, wondering why we want to look at the attic. What does that have to do with the roof? And that's basically the respiratory system of the home, because all the moisture and heat and everything ends up in that area, and it can let us know how the ventilation system's performing. We can take a look at the insulation, the bathroom fan's exhaust, soffit venting, see if those are open, checks the ridge vent, see if that was cut to the correct size. And then once we get that done, then we can head outside and start looking at flashing areas around sidewall intersections, chimneys, look at the masonry there, and then check the actual condition of the existing roof. And then we can start to determine what the proper course of action is from there.
And that's how you get a thorough roof. And I appreciate that. And so on the reverse of that, when a homeowner goes to hireitdone.com, and I know you know this, but for the listeners, this is why it's so important for a listener who's thinking of a roof. Nowhere else in Metro Detroit you get this when you want a roof. That's why we lead in Metro Detroit more roofing than anyone else. The homeowner gets a checklist from us. The first thing they get is a picture of the roof with how many squares it is, right? Mm-hmm. So it's not like you get that fuzzy math from the guys who advertise on TV. Today only, half off roofing, half off labor, don't pay till 2088, no taxes forever. And, oh, by the way, Mrs. Jones, you have 88 square. Now think about that. When's the last time a homeowner actually got on their own roof and told you how many squares they have? Never.
Yeah.
Right. So when we send them the roof report from a satellite photo, and by the way, good roofers use satellite technology, to figure it out. But what we do is we take that photo, what I'll call dumb it down, and we'll present it to the homeowner in a readable, understandable format. Mrs. Jones, your roof has 40 square. But to price it properly, you're going to be charged for 46 square, right? So that's like 12, 15% more. Why? And it says why? Because of waste. Here's how it's calculated so that when the homeowner knows what they're being charged for, they know how many square they have. As opposed to the guy on TV says, Mrs. Jones, it's 88 square. However, today only, I'm only going to charge you for 44. Really? Now, homeowners don't know it. Oh my God, we're paying half, right?
Right.
It's a bunch of BS.
Yeah.
So now what happens is, then we say to the homeowner, here's what a square is, here's what ice and water shield. We give them a glossary of terms. And then we say, here's what the contractor that comes from Hired Done should be doing in order to properly price your roof. Checking the attic, checking the ventilation. Do you have proper insulation? And now you guys do insulation.
Yes.
So there's the thing. A good roofer is going to add insulation to his repertoire of products because that has a big impact on the way a roof lasts.
Oh, for sure. And if you think about it, while the roof's open, we can remove a couple deck boards. We can actually install the insulation from the top down rather than bringing all the nasty hoses through your house, through
Correct.
the cuddle space.
Outside, never touch anything else.
It's a much cleaner job to do it that way, and it's actually a better job.
Right. And that's where people who want a roof that lasts 50 years can go.
Right.
And so you have no problem saying the roofs that you can put on today, done properly, with your name on it, can last 50 years?
Yeah, and the thing is it's not just me, though. What people run into is they think that they're getting the same shingles, but it's the roof system that you want to look at and make sure that manufacturer is standing behind that. With us, once I leave that home, put the final nail in, our manufacturer stands behind our workmanship for 25 years. They stand behind the entire roof system for 50 years.
But so do you.
Exactly. But the thing is if we run into 20 roofs in Metro Detroit in 1 year that went bad, it's like getting 20 new projects. It's not Rapid Roofing that's eating the cost for that because a lot of companies cannot absorb that type of financial disaster.
Thus, the reason why you partner with a manufacturer.
Exactly.
Thus, the reason why you invest in getting certified by them, because when you do the GAF, the Golden Pledge warranty, that means the homeowner, if they have a problem in 10 years, GF is going to back you, and you guys are going to work together and give them the roof that they need.
Or worst case scenario, if something happens and Rapid Roofing's no longer around, they still have GAF standing behind their project for 50 years.
Right. And so if anyone has a roofing question, folks, you can text us 97136. Someone just asked what a square is. So when you measure roofs, folks, it's measured in squares. And a square is a 10-foot by 10-foot area of the roof, right? So you'll see like roofers on TV, $1 a square foot, $9 a square foot. I'm like, really? Are you kidding me? But again, that's why they don't participate in Hired Done. The other thing is we don't have high pressure sales, which you guys are right. You're like, here's the price, Mrs. Jones. I'd love to do the job for you. However, you want more prices, you want to do whatever, go ahead, call us when you're ready.
Right.
Most homeowners are like, oh, because I tell homeowners it's okay to say yes. If you like the first guy, say yes. If you want to wait to the fourth guy, say yes. No problem. However, don't ask for 9 guys.
Right.
2, 3, 4 guys tops. Don't mess around. Don't waste our time, your time, or anyone's time if you're that homeowner who wants 19 bids.
And that's one of the first things we tell homeowners is we take no as graciously as we take yes. Not everybody's going to say yes, and that's perfectly okay. We're not for everybody.
Have you ever told the homeowner no?
We actually have, and it took time to get to that point. But there's certain times that you just don't have a match.
We're not a match.
We're not a match.
I had that once, and for another day, I got a letter from the attorney complaining that the homeowner did. I basically said, based on what you're requesting, Mrs. Homeowner, and based on the quality that you're seeking and the timeline you requested, I don't believe we're going to be able to meet your needs. In that case, I'm going to pass on your project. I don't think we're a match.
Yeah.
That was it. And sure enough, Rubenstein, Goldberg, and Silverstein sent me a letter. Dear Mr. Helfman,
yeah,
we represent so-and-so and so-and-so. I'm like, all right, dude, whatever.
Yeah, we have Rapid Roofing. I think we have a little over 100 positive Google reviews, and I think there's somewhere around 5 negative ones. The 5 negative ones are the people that we did not work for whatever reason.
Can you imagine that? And you can't get them taken off.
No, you can't. I mean, there's just that's the one thing with Google. It's there's no mediation that's involved with that. It's
Same
basically
with all of them. Look at they're crazy. But here's the best part: Hire It Done. We personally go to the homeowner. We ask them to review, and it's really simple. We don't need a whole fill out a form or anything. It's, hi, Mrs. Homeowner. Now that you've picked your contractor, now that he's done, we ask one question of you: how did we do? Is there anything we can do to improve our system? That's it. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, the homeowners write the whole essay. Oh, Adam, we had Rapid Roofing. They did a great job. We're so happy. We tell all our friends. We love our roof, right? And we share that with you. But if there's ever an issue, we also are solution-minded. We're like, okay, thank you for the feedback. We're going to address it immediately, and we're going to work on it. That kind of situation. And of course, being a third-party endorsement for homeowners, they love to tattle on you to us, which is great. Let them vent to me. I have no problem, because if there's a problem and it's solvable, I'm gonna jump in and solve it. But with your situation, you've never had a complaint, so you're good.
Yeah.
So either way, but that's okay. How busy is Rapid Roofing?
We're extremely busy. We're 2 to 3 weeks out right now, and
But if someone called today or this week, you can get out and give them an estimate, right?
oh, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you'll schedule it by end of September, early October.
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
So that's not bad. That's basically 2 to 4 weeks. I tell everyone is where our roofers are right now as far as scheduling.
The best are busy.
The best are busy, right? That was Jared J-Bomb, we like to call him, from Fresh Cut Landscape. He's sitting in right now. He's about to embark on the Hire It Done landscape segment coming up.
Right now.
So as we round this up really quick, Mike, you don't have magic carpets. Your guys don't float around the house, right? Tearing off a roof is a process. You got guys on the roof. You got tarps. You got all that. I'm assuming sometimes landscaping gets beat up. Sprinkler heads, things like that.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that we try to walk through with homeowners during the initial visit to find out, is there a tree or a Japanese maple that was planted when Jimmy was born, and that is irreplaceable. I mean, Japanese maples and some of the other things, we always take care on those because we know that they're very expensive to replace. But sometimes there's just landscaping around the entire house and he could probably tell us, but if we put a tarp on top of a yew shrub or something like that in 90-degree weather, that's going to kill it also. So we have to, be very careful how we protect the landscaping.
Well, that's an important segue, because coming up next, folks, we got Jared Bombert from Fresh Cut Landscaping, and we're going to talk about how many times Jared's come out and fixed landscaping from the roofer. Is that even a situation? I don't know.
Yeah, there's been a few.
Okay, so
But the
there
fact
we
that
have
he's
it.
even talking about protection is a step in the right direction.
I love it. Evolution of the contractor.
Amen.
I'm Adam Helfman. You're listening to Hire It Done on 97.1 The Ticket.